Are you tired of being subjected to rules and regulations that do not serve you or your family? Are you willing to go against the grain in the name of wisdom, freedom, family, honor, and trust? We provide simple solutions to complex problems. Take control of your own affairs in life. Tribe Up with Tribes and Trusts TV.
On our mission now, your time is up. Took us 400 years, had to size you up. Our word is born, no more dividing us. We now know what to do with all these tribes and trusts. I'm overseas with these tribes and trusts. Don't need no other keys but these tribes and trusts. Frequency sovereignty with these tribes and trusts. Watch me get families free with these tribes and trusts. Overstepping your boundaries, I balance you. I'm bona fide, fuck a challenger. Sent the revocation certified, fuck a manager. In control of my soul, fuck a handler. All these assets that's held for the tribes and trusts. Prophecies get fulfilled with the tribes and trusts. Heard they get out of jail with the tribe and trust. Fuck around, get you nailed for the tribe and trust. On our mission now, your time is up. Took us 400 years, had to size you up. Our word is born, no more dividing us. We now know what to do with all these tribes and trusts. I'm overseas with these tribes and trusts. Don't need no other keys but these tribes and trusts. Frequency sovereignty with these tribes and trusts. Watch me get families free with these tribes and trusts. Tribing up, we 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 tribing up with these tribes and trusts. We tribing up, 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 we tribing up with these tribes and trusts. We tribing up, put the tribe in the trust, manifesting this wealth with the tribe and trust. Resurrected myself with these tribes and trusts. Ancestors left us these tribes and trusts. The people is wising up, free all the guys from cuffs. Tribes and trusts, rising up with tribes and trusts.
You heard the Mansa. Tribe up and take care of your own affairs in life. Your life depends on it. Your future depends on it. Your family depends on it. Establish your family tribes and trusts with Kyle Mansa, founder of Love Nation American Indians. If you need advanced or rush services, schedule a consultation.
I'm overseas with these tribal trusts. Don't need no aid but these tribal trusts. Tribal trust. We trapping up. We trapping up. I'm rocking with the tribes and trusts. All right. We got something going on right now for you. What is it? Family trust issues were caused by ignorance and unsettled disputes. Wisdom, community are solutions. So wisdom and community is the solutions to bringing the pieces of the puzzle back. Nevertheless, wisdom and community may mean something different than what the masses perceive. So we're going to look at this. And what is the question at the end of the day? You know, whatever happened to family trust? From the basics, you know, if you're looking at from a simple perspective, like whatever happened to family trust? Well, whatever happened to trust? Whatever happened to family? Like whatever happened? You know, you can look, some of us can look back and say, okay, it used to seem like for the most part, there were more stronger family structures a while back. You see, now some situations, some places, they ain't saying that. It's all about the culture and the location. But for the most part, we say that the family and the family dynamics, and even what a family means, has evolved and transformed so much due to the free will of the people creating different social compacts, different systems, different agreeing to live different ways. And a lot of time the people that we perceive as family from the basic sense of like, you know, the same blood, you living with them in the same household. You know, that simple perspective of family, even for a lot of people, and including me, and when I say family, when you think of family in that perspective, a lot of us say we haven't maintained a family bond to the degree of ensuring that everyone in that family is good economically, financially, spiritually, mentally. Those become like dreams and goals for a lot of people right now. That's like a dream and a goal. It ain't nothing wrong with it being a dream and a goal, as long as we get up out of ignorance, you feel me? And we apply ourselves to the knowledge, apply the knowledge that's available to start to produce wisdom. That's something that must be produced, you know, through utilizing knowledge. We get to produce wisdom as a collective. And now you can have this thing called community. And when you're thinking about community, you really got the prefix com, C-O-M. You feel what I'm saying? Then you have the unity. It's two different aspects of community. And at the end of the day, it's important, you know, the world where you perceive community is not important. It's simply a world where community is not strong, right? And the bond of community, it'd be good if that bond was magnetized and was pulsated by the rays of the sun and magnetized, increasing its capacity to deliver the bond of unity. And when you think about community, and you got the first C-O-M, like the prefix, com, C-O-M, right? It's meaning like with, it's meaning togetherness. It really means like in association with something. You feel me? Or through something. You feel me? Like together with something, jointly with something. So community, that word come, like if you think of commerce, so it's like jointly in association with, we're doing some things. We're about to engage in the product or service transfer, you know, exchange of energy, exchange of products, exchange of service, exchange of value. See, that's an association. It's an agreement, doing something together. It requires togetherness. You know, it means completely. You know, so if you think about the situations that's faced with a lot of families being divided, say divide and conquer has been a strategy of a lot of beings and organizations in order to succeed. Yet that doesn't have to be a solution. It's not a viable solution for humanity and for the cosmic beings throughout the planet and throughout the galaxies and the forces that's here. You know, that strategy may not be long-term sustainable. So having a more prosperous perspective, knowing that there's enough places, enough resources, enough people, persons, and things and places and ideas for you to actually engage how you see fit, with who you see fit, where you see fit, then you can have a more complete perspective. So that's a complete perspective, together perspective, connected perspective. Even if it's you seeing your connectivity with all things and all beings, it doesn't always mean just realizing there's a connectivity and realizing that there's some degree of interdependence does not mean that ignorance has to lead, right? You don't have to fall victim to mass ignorance. And, you know, if we're thinking about family trust, what happened to the family trust? Whatever happened to it? You know, a lot of people and beings and organizations and external forces with external agendas, you know, corporations, companies, agencies, guilds, you know, play out they wishes on the population. And if the populations aren't governing themselves, you know, and as we realize, any company has the ability to establish its government, its governance, right? And any group of people, however they organize themselves, have the right to establish their own governance. So if those governance, those local governance systems and structures aren't really fortified, then they succumb to external governance and external government systems, which may not always have their best interest in mind, right? Even though that is the plan, that's what's hoped for, you feel me, by a lot of beings who have essentially given up the right or the you know, just attempted to pawn off the responsibility to govern themselves. When you do that for another third party, then that third party has a tendency of becoming not a great unity force, not a great uniting force, unless it's managed properly through the wisdom of the governed. So the governed must have enough wisdom, enough knowledge to understand the relationship between the governed and the governed and the governors, right? And realizing that that's a service relationship, administrative relationship, and knowing how to maintain their wisdom, right, and their ability to use knowledge, then that could keep a bond of family together, however you see your family. And when we're talking about knowledge from different areas of life, we looked at these videos, okay, that we've been dropping in this series about family trust, about, you know, we talking about trust right now, and we're talking about family trust, right, and the need for governance and managing assets and how that's a type of financial institution. And now we like, okay, in order for that to not, those bonds to not be broken, the ones that's required for that establishment to exist, then rules, regulations, policies, and principles have to be established and adhered to. And the rules, regulations, policies, and procedures could be the laws that you would choose, whatever you guys choose, or girls choose, or women choose, or kings and queens choose, and your tribe and your kingdom and your chiefdoms, right? And your localities, right? Amongst your peoples and your organizations, your trusts, your associations, your corporations, your, all the different forms of organizing under, the rule of law that you create and or that you adopt from outside. However you go about it, just accepting the responsibility, having the wisdom, and accepting and having the knowledge that these responsibilities are part of this, right? Like, but choosing to be ignorant to the process of maintaining peace has never been a wise solution for freedom. Screaming freedom without the proper the promotion of the solutions and the systems of freedom, then that's just like an open promise. It's like a blank check. It's like sending people off on a mission. It's like going to church, getting all hype and feeling great, but not having nothing after that. No direction, no actual application of, developing that kingdom or spreading that love in the world, whatever that was for. It's like going to a business meeting and after that saying, okay, great meeting, I'm gonna go home and kick it. Well, the meeting was for a purpose, was to get some stuff done, more than likely to operate efficiently. So through operating efficiently, you get to, boom, show what wisdom is. You're operating efficiently. Now you're producing wisdom, which is the utilization of knowledge. You're using this knowledge. And that's what families have to do, just like companies have to do. Leaders in families have to do it. Groups have to become leaders. If that's the structure you choose a customary law system with some ancestry law, the way that you've been operated, or to choose to adopt some common law systems or systems that you have been engaged with. Whatever you choose to do, however you choose to organize yourselves, just know that that's where the trust is at. The trust that you have with your family or with the group of people that y'all chose to live in accordance with each other. First, that has to happen. There has to be some group that has chosen to live in accordance to some rules and regulations, right? Now, you could say, okay, we naturally part of this family or country or family because these rules are imposed upon us, and it may not be a bad thing if you agree to those rules and you know how to maneuver, operate within those rules, and utilize the best portions of those rules and regulations to operate your laws, your cosmic laws, your customary laws, whatever, because a lot of these systems are capable of being, operated and engaged with simultaneously. This is like this interdimensional locale. You feel what I'm saying? Interdimensional. And you thinking of melanin. Melanin is intergalactic in nature. Like, we don't want to get into that, but at the end of the day and in the beginning of all days, right? We talking about family issues that have been created because all issues come from this. All issues, if you think about an issue, is an imbalance. There's an imbalance. Some books haven't been balanced. Amount of value went out and the same type of value didn't come back. Somebody feel like they are imbalanced. They put out too much, or somebody feel like somebody's taken, or somebody feels like something ain't right. Some need isn't being met. But all of that could only be addressed properly with systems. Just like you got systems at the workplace. And that's why the system is what it is and is operating and it's moving and it's creating a certain product or service or a certain degree of peace and prosperity or certain culture of happiness because of the rules and regulations or the principles of the laws that have been adopted and enshrined into that institution, that company, that organization, that family, that tribe. So regardless of the dispute, because the disputes arise from ignorance, from either an ignorance of not knowing how you're going to get to a mutual, dispute doesn't necessarily arise from ignorance. But an unsettled dispute is evidence of ignorance, because a dispute could come. You can have two parties that actually, have the best intents in mind, and then a dispute comes. You got to iron that out through arbitration or litigation, or just chopping it up, doing a meeting of the chiefs, meeting of the family heads, or whatever the case may be. and iron that out and deal with that. Now, if through, let's say, diplomatic relations doesn't work it out, litigation doesn't work it out, or a party is not allowing litigation to occur, is not participating with the arbitration or the attempt to bring just due based upon the claim, then you got an unsettled dispute, and unsettled disputes may be dealt with as if the person who left the battlefield or the field of dispute is just guilty, because he who leaves the battlefield first loses that whole situation. So even in court, you don't show up, you can get a declaratory judgment against you, or summary judgment, whatever case may be, against you. Boom, case is a wrap for you, right? In that situation, right? So what is that saying? That's saying that a lot of disputes have occurred and people just choosing not to deal with them in the family. That creates trust issues. Trust being a relationship of rights being able to be granted to a second party for the benefit of a third. And how does that relate to a family? Because in families, you got people, every person has skills, abilities, time, and they're somebody. Everybody is somebody. They have something to provide. A lot of times, sometimes it's food, water, shelter, clothing, and housing. Sometimes it's watching a baby for you. Sometimes it's educating. Yet in all of these situations, there's a trust relationship, right? Somebody is providing somebody with some assets, and it may be for their benefit. Like you may be providing somebody asset of love, of knowledge, of wisdom, of a hug, of, some words of encouragement to the fam, right? These are things that the family do every day, all day, should do, and should be providing and reinforcing these positive emotions and positive realities, and not positive from the stance of uber optimistic and uber like naive, but just the proper proportion of energy that's required for the situation. Basically, be there for a motherfucker when needed, if possible. And a lot of those situations are not occurring consistently. And the way to address that is what? To settle disputes. Settle disputes that have been wiped under the fridge. And settling them isn't just saying, okay, isn't acknowledging it. Hey, we acknowledge there's an issue. That's one thing. Then to settle it, okay, what does balance in this book look like? What does getting situation on the right page look like? Okay, then boom, this is what it looks like. What things could occur to assist this to happen? How is this going to happen? What can we make sure happen to make this happen? What series of action steps and goals and scheduled realities can we put into place to ensure that this happens? Or is this something that can just occur? Regardless of the situation, but to settle the dispute, it has to be acknowledged. Agreements have to be perceived, like the victory or the victorious mediation goal has to be perceived. We got to say, okay, where are we attempting to get to? When would you be happy with the situation? When would you be happy with the situation? What is the situation look like when it's dealt with? What are we looking for? When can we say this is a dealt with situation? And it's balanced. The books have been balanced on it. Because some things you can't take back. Nevertheless, balancing the books is what this is all about. Making sure that proper energy returns to people that needs to be returned to them, and proper energy is sent out to those persons that energies need to be sent out. That bond, those create bonds of unity. And unity, we looked at the pre-word is togetherness, together, unity. Unity being together is a complete form of unity. It's an association of unity. That's what community is, an association of unity. And that's the solution. Wisdom, a wise association of unity. That's what a wise community is. An association of unity utilizing knowledge for the benefit of the association. Is wisdom. It's a wise community, right? So an association of beings associated, utilizing knowledge for the benefit of the community. Okay, for the benefit of them, to ensure unity, to bring about unity, a type of unity, an interdependence, a willingness to understand that and to operate as if you know that, and set up the systems and structures that allows for what you call commerce, or if you didn't call it commerce, call it life, call it products and services, call it exchange, call it bartering, allowing for those systems to occur so that people could have access to the products and services that completes their vision in life and their mission in life, that can assist them with connecting with other people that share that mission and that vision within the family as you see fit. So you can check out family, what is a family, that video, and you'll see how a lot of systems have got people into subjection because of terms and what they mean and how people going about those realizations. Yet at the same time, we're realizing that you could define yourself according to your founding documents as you form your trusts and your tribes we're going to talk about later. Yeah, you got to get up out of those boxes if you choose to take responsibility for your destiny, for yourself and the people that you're rocking with, your family, right? So yeah, trust issue caused with ignorance and unsettled disputes. So if it's not ignorance, it's unsettled disputes. It's wars and rumors of wars that still haven't been settled. It's debts that's due to wars, debts that's due to disputes that still haven't been settled properly, that need to get settled property, and then the world will be a different situation. That's just the fact. There's a lot of people, a lot of generations of people throughout the world who have unsettled debts that needs to be balanced. Books need to be balanced as best as possible. And that's what fiduciaries in the trust could do. Okay, so what happened to the trust is one situation. But what can we do to bring the trust about is another situation. All this knowledge together helps you see the situation. And you have to envision it before you can be the situation. So just envision the situation as you see fit, know it for what it is and how it became to be. And then look at your people around you and for who they truly are, not for what you wish them to be or what you think they are. Allow them to influence you as far as who they say they are. You know, these are some things that even people in my family have been bringing up. We had a meeting that was dope. So it's like, yeah, y'all, you know, just because it's family trust issues doesn't mean it ain't answers and solutions. This is knowledge based. You feel me? Ignorance of the law is no excuse in law. So it's knowledge to have about law, because not knowing ain't gonna get you the benefits of knowing. There's benefits in knowing, and then there's even more benefits in acting like you know. That's wisdom. And as we can see, community is what? Association of unity. So yeah, we got to be activating this knowledge and associating in unity to balance the books of the karmic debts that's all throughout this earth and this realm right now. That's what all this is about. It ain't just about balancing one account on a bank account or balancing one account with a creditor, but all collectively, as above, so below, as below, so above, then, right? So collectively, as debts get paid and situations get clearer down here, you know, if we call it down here, situations get clearer up there. You know, a mental clarity brings about body clarity. Body clarity brings about mental clarity. Having a clear understanding of the situation and how it became, and not overlooking it, like a family really looking at the issues, really speaking of the issues, really addressing the issues, regardless of how long it takes, like regardless of the competence level and the capabilities, but actually putting yourself to the forefront of addressing it. Skills can get developed, organization can get developed. You feel me? Support can be developed. You know, family structures can be rebonded and repaired, renewed, upgraded, transformed, evolved. It's all malleable. It's all subject to change. So just put out the energy that you see fit so you can receive that back as it is due to you in its proper proportions, you know? So yeah, with that, we see, you know, some issues may have been caused, but solutions are here, y'all, and they're everywhere. I'm sure you got some solutions. I'm sure, you know, there's enough solutions to bring about the desired effects that people have, the worlds that they see fit, the positive worlds, the balanced worlds, the peace and prosperity, you feel me? The joy, the happiness. Not saying all people and all beings even strive for that, but for those of us who do, we can enjoy that type of world in the world, but not of the world. So let's activate and attract wisdom, association of unity, connectivity, interdependence, the overstanding of wealth and peace and prosperity, knowledge, so we can utilize that for wisdom, forsake all things of ignorance, forsake victim mentalities, forsake victimization, and just accept conquering nature, the nature of conquering your fears, the nature of conquering your anxieties, the nature of conquering your imbalances individually as a group, bringing that peace and prosperity to the groups that you around in every situation you in. And, you know, I have a perspective that a lot of the work that we do here is for here, but it's really more so for the other 99% of the world, right? Because we say we experience, say, 1% of the world, what we see, hear, smell, taste, touch, and feel. I perceive a lot of the work that's going on here has even a greater effect than the 99%, the intergalactical eternal cosmos. You feel me? Nevertheless, we get to still see things and feel things and feel effects, deep effects, and the sense effects right here in this ongoing reality, let's just say. So, with that being said and done, if y'all vibed out, y'all vibed out. If this your type of talkative. If it ain't, it ain't. Yeah, we got 16 of these videos. This is one of the shortest at this point because it's really like a question: whatever happened to the family trust? You feel me? Okay, if there's some issues and some ignorance, how are we going to address these issues? How are we going to bring some knowledge through? How are we going to ensure education is vibrant? Now, it takes a lot of adjustment, a lot of changing your whole DNA structure as you attempt and you assist yourself in becoming the type of person you must be for yourself and others. For yourself and others. I mean, for yourself, you got to be something for others. If you don't perceive that, well, do for self without engaging with others. Let's see how far you do for self. Don't do that. I mean, you can engage with others. Just do for self with self. No commerce with nobody, no talking, no rocking with nobody, no deal making with nobody, no calling nobody, no email with nobody. Let's see how far you can get in the world. And well, I don't even want you to try. But if you tried, hey, it is what it is. What I'm here to say though is it's the unity amongst the association that allows for wisdom to even be experienced, because it is the community that allows for commerce to occur as well. And commerce is a part of manifested dreams. You feel me? So take that how you take it, rock with it how you rock with it, implement the principles how you choose to implement them. This wasn't a guide to how to maintain trust. This was more so a realization that trust is accessible in any given situation as long as you understand the relationships that's involved, people involved, the goals that is involved. You're willing to utilize some knowledge, exercise some wisdom, and you stay aware of the fact that an association of unity is always a prerequisite for a community. All right. Peace.